When a quiet 15-year-old stepped onto the stage of America's Got Talent with an acoustic guitar, network executives were expecting another polished pop performer. Instead, she took a deep breath and delivered a brutal, spoken-word poem detailing the exact psychological toll of middle school bullying. The room fell dead silent. Within minutes, country superstar Brad Paisley hit the golden buzzer, sending confetti raining over her head and launching her into instant viral fame. Tens of millions of views poured in overnight, and fans declared her the future of modern music. But almost as fast as she rose to fame on primetime television, she seemed to vanish off the mainstream radar. If you search for her on traditional music charts today, you won't see her name under a major label umbrella. To the casual TV viewer, it looked like another classic case of a child prodigy chewed up and discarded by the reality television machine. But what actually happened behind closed doors tells a completely different story. Long before she ever set foot inside the high-stress audition rooms of NBC, she was already operating on a level most seasoned musicians couldn't match. Growing up in Northern California, she picked up a guitar at age 9 and turned her bedroom into an emotional studio. While other kids were scrolling through social media, she was spending hours analyzing song structures and grinding as a street performer on Venice Beach, playing to crowds of passing strangers. By the time she turned 15, she had written over 400 fully realized original songs. Her music wasn't designed to fit corporate radio algorithms. It was a direct release valve for anxiety, isolation, and the awkward pain of growing up. And that massive library of original music was about to clash directly with the biggest entertainment pipeline on planet Earth. When season 14 of America's Got Talent aired in 2019, her initial audition with her original track, Seventh Grade, sent shockwaves through the industry. Praised her authentic lyrical ability, and when she returned for the judge cuts with her track Misfits, Brad Paisley awarded her his golden buzzer. Millions of fans fell in love with her raw vulnerability, and overnight, her social media following blew up exponentially. She had bypassed years of traditional networking, stepping directly onto a stage that reached tens of millions of homes worldwide. On paper, it appeared to be the ultimate Hollywood success story. But beneath the bright lights and dramatic television edits, a completely different reality was playing out behind the scenes. As the competition advanced into the live quarterfinal rounds, the intense demands of television production began to take their toll. Reality TV operates on predictable formulas, bold pop anthems, high-energy stage productions, and narratives carefully shaped to fit television. But Sophie refused to change her identity into a standard pop star. When the quarterfinal votes were counted, she was eliminated from the show, leaving millions of fans across the world shocked and angry. Online forums erupted with accusations that the competition was rigged against raw, unvarnished talent. Major media outlets quickly moved on to the next viral moment, assuming her career had peaked on that television stage. But what the producers didn't realize was that her elimination wasn't a tragedy. It was her ultimate escape key. Following a televised elimination, major record label executives usually swoop in to offer multi-album deals to standout contestants. But these agreements often come with a heavy cost. Standard 360 contracts that give corporate suits complete control over an artist's sound, visual image, tour schedules, and ultimate publishing rights. Executives wanted to polish her style, hand her pre-written pop tracks, and filter the raw emotional edge that made her special in the first place. Facing a crucial decision between instant corporate funding and total artistic freedom, she made a choice that stunned industry insiders. She walked away from major label talks entirely, returning home as an independent artist. And what she did next proved she never needed a record label in the first place. Instead of fading into obscurity, she doubled down on her independent process. Free from corporate control, she continued recording and releasing music straight from her bedroom studio to her online fan base. The music world quickly took notice. In 2021, her self-written anthem, Anxiety, entered the unsigned-only music competition, a global contest featuring over 10,000 entries from more than 100 countries. She didn't just compete, she won the grand prize. Shortly after, her track, Seventh Grade, captured first place in the teen category of the International Songwriting Competition. Industry veterans were forced to acknowledge a shocking truth. A teenager working independently from home was consistently outwriting artists backed by million-dollar label budgets. But her creative evolution was about to take a darker, even bolder turn. As she transitioned into her 20s, her sound evolved from soft acoustic folk pop into an intense, spoken-word poetry rap. She stopped pulling punches in her lyrics, tackling heavy topics like mental burnout, psychological isolation, and complex emotional trauma. Releases like In a Perfect World, The Youth, and the hard-hitting single Crime Scene showed an artist completely unconcerned with mainstream radio approval. Then came 2025, when tracks like Aliens and Brainless went viral across indie music communities, resonating with listeners who felt alienated by manufactured pop music. She proved that real vulnerability builds a far stronger bond with an audience than any artificial publicity campaign ever could. And that momentum carried straight into 2026. By February 2026, she released The Quiet Kid, a powerful track that instantly took over social media platforms, accumulating millions of streams without a single dollar spent on traditional radio promotion. She followed it up in July 2026 with Poker Face, cementing her position as one of the most consistent independent voices of her generation. Today, she commands a community of over 2 million dedicated followers. She owns 100% of her master recordings, retains total creative control over her catalog of over 400 songs, and earns a direct income that rivals artists trapped in traditional label contracts. She regularly sells out intimate live venues, performing for fans who connect deeply with every single word she writes. Looking back at her journey, her story completely flips the traditional script on reality television fame. She didn't fail after America's Got Talent. She used the television platform to introduce herself to the world, and then had the courage to build a sustainable career on her own terms. In an industry that often commodifies young talent, she proved that independence, complete creative control, and honest storytelling will always win out in the long run. And as the music landscape continues to shift away from corporate gatekeepers toward independent creators, it leaves us with one final question. Are major record labels and TV talent competitions officially obsolete?